Hey everybody, we're back with another episode of the Mourning Reads. Today we are reading a King of the Hill and Nightmare on Elm Street crossover called Bobby Has to Fight by our old friend Shadowgate, who has done amazing stories like Halloween in Texas and Bobby's New Pet. The summary is, Bobby has to take on Freddy. Well, that's something. Anyway.
Freddy who?
Freddy who? Mercury?
Yes.
Anyway, I'll hand it off to Kaiju X.
Very well. Chapter 1, Bobby Has to Fight by Shadowgate. Bobby was running on the sidewalk. It was very late and he wanted to get home. When he looked down at his watch, it said 2 a.m. He stopped in his tracks.
Holy shit.
And he looked again to see if he was reading it right. His father and mother had never talked about a specific curfew time since he wasn't even a teenager yet. He knew damn well that just about every town in the USA had one, though. He thought to himself,
How the hell do I explain this to Mom and Dad?
By getting the hell home!
Oh, fuck.
Language. God.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Then 5 seconds later, Bobby heard this growling and an evil laughter. He started running faster, but could only sense that whoever it was laughing and growling was also gaining on him. He tried to sprint hard, but then found himself running in place. All of a sudden, he saw a hand with claws coming down upon him. Then he woke up and let out a loud scream.
Ah!
Hank and Margaret came into Bobby's room. Hank yelled,
Who the fuck is Margaret?
Your mother, god damn it.
I thought it was Peggy.
Your mother's going through a tough time, Bobby. But I digress.
Hank yelled,
Bobby, you're having a bad dream, not a wet dream, so stop moaning.
Oh, fuck.
It took Bobby a few seconds to come to reality, but when he did, he said,
Dad, I saw him. I saw Freddie Mercury.
Hank said,
Well, what a shock you and your friend decided to watch Bohemian Rhapsody when the two of you were unsupervised. You know your mother sure didn't prove of that. She hates good music, I'll tell you what.
I bet she listens to that new mumble rapping.
That she does.
Margaret snapped, Well, I'm not the only mother that would disapprove of a kid Bobby's age watching that movie. Furthermore, there are dads out there that would not approve either. Hank said,
Alright, Margaret, you've verified your homophobic point.
Margaret said, Your point? Well, I'd like to make a point right here. Hank said,
Oh, look out. Dad Mom's mad as Freddie Mercury himself. Wait, what the fuck? That makes no sense. Who is he talking to? Oh, look out, Dad Mom's mad as... Is he trying to imply that... Is that a mistake trying to say that... Is Bobby saying that instead of Hank, or...
Bobby might be trying to say that, but I think it was replaced with Hank.
I'm confused.
I think I'm gonna vomit.
Margaret responded to her son sternly. Well, I sure have the right to be considering you knew that there were a good chance neither me nor your father would have approved of you watching that movie. But you did it, and as a result, we both had to get up in the middle of the night thanks to your screaming.
Moaning.
Whatever.
Don't you get snappy at me, bitch. I'm only trying to comfort our son while you're being a real saggy naggy.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, language in front of the child. I already had to ground one of them. I don't need the other picking up the bad
My
habit.
virgin ears.
I think you're terrifying him more than that Freddie Mercury movie ever could. Curse one more time and we're getting a divorce.
He'll tell me what to do. Oh man, that's good. Oh, that's kind of fun. I see what you're doing now. Bobby said,
Well, I got even more bad news. I think Freddy is real.
Hank said,
Well, I'm sure after the nightmare you just had, he feels very real.
Bobby said,
No, Dad, he's real, and he wants to break free.
Hank became very aggravated suddenly and said,
No, he's not. He's 28 years dead.
Margaret added, You just get to sleep, young man, and I don't want to hear a goddamn peep out of you.
That's it, you fucking bitch. We're getting a divorce.
What the fuck?
Hey, you're grounded, Bobby.
That shit.
Double grounded.
I honestly wasn't even looking ahead when I read that. That's great.
Goddamn bitches running their mouths.
Dad, you're cursing.
Ah, fuck, I'm grounded.
Hank and Margaret stormed out of Bobby's room, ready to file that divorce. After they left, Bobby said to himself,
It's just like in the movies. Freddy goes after kids, and the adults tell the kids they're crazy, and then the adults get a divorce.
Actually, that part of divorce is actually kind of true.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Like
Always have problems.
Oh, wow. As Bobby laid back down, he wondered.
Should I dare go back to sleep?
He felt his head pounding to the beat of his heart, and suddenly the Freddy Krueger 1-2 song began echoing in his head. He could not get that song that the little girl sang out of his head. He pulled both his hands atop his head. Then he started pulling at his hair.
I don't know why Bobby's going crazy. Listening to Queen is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean Freddie Mercury 1-2. I'm sorry.
You should have said Bohemian Rhapsody.
1-2.
I should have.
Yeah, I should have. I'm sorry, I have failed everyone. Bobby said out loud,
This is going to be a tough fight, but at least it has a good soundtrack.
and now, suddenly, at breakfast time, Margaret served Bobby his eggs with an attitude. Margaret said, Well, mister, you caused quite a stir last night. Bobby said,
Mom, this nightmare was worse than the nightmare I had where a mailman pulled his pants down and started jacking off right in front of our house.
Oh my god! Oh man, that is one. That is just. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh! Margaret said, I want to hear about that fucking rotten nightmare, and I don't want to hear any more of that fucking Freddie Mercury.
Watch your fucking mouth, you stupid fucking whore, before I grab my shotgun and blow you away like I did to Michael Myers.
Hank commented,
At least he didn't have a nightmare where Freddy jacked off. I mean, pulled his. Then again, I don't even know if Freddy has a weenie. Must have been burnt off.
Margaret shouted, Damn it, Hank, that doesn't help the situation!
Watch your mouth again, or else I'm gonna start collecting alimony and child support.
Oh man. I'm sorry, I'm actually enjoying narrating this one.
No, this is. See, here's the thing with Shadowgate, judging by like Halloween in Texas, this is a real. He makes a really good skeleton of a story. The problem is he's just lacking the meat.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, really good skeleton right here.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's like, it's, you got good skeleton, just not enough meat.
Yep.
But for us, I think that makes life a lot easier. So we're adding the meat for him.
True.
It's like a chicken leg.
Chapter 2, Bobby has to fight. When Bobby got home from school, the only thing on his mind was tonight. Tonight he knew he would have to go to bed sometime. He wondered, would he continue to have bad dreams of Freddy? To him, it felt so real. He went on the internet and looked for songs about nightmares. He found Avenged Sevenfold song, Nightmare, and began to play it. He started to sing along when Hank came up behind him. The next song started playing with Slayer's Tormentor, and Hank told him to shut off the music. Hank yelled,
"Shut that garbage off, Bobby! This is a Christian home. We don't listen to the devil's music."
But Dad,
Do you
What if
want to
it's-
go to hell or heaven?
what if it's a Queen song?
Queen is the only exception, not the rule.
Okay, Dad.
And same with that Thomas Fairchild. His matches are a work of God, I tell you what. He might even be a Texan, so that's a good thing.
Oh.
Bobby responded back.
Well, first of all, this is America. Second of all, I had a nightmare because I watched a movie about a bisexual singer who sang to people both in real life and their dreams. And third, why do you care if I listen to heavy metal?
I think you're forgetting the most important part where he slapped a waiter's ass. And that waiter had switched between Irish and Scottish. That was scary, I'll tell you what.
Hank answered.
How about I call you Tipper Gore and have her come talk to you, young man?
Bobby giggled and said,
You don't know Tipper Gore.
Hank replied.
Well, I'll tell you something I do know.
Bobby asked.
What's that?
Hank answered.
I know I'm gonna kill you since I just murdered your mom.
What the fuck?
Hank turned into Freddy Krueger, and then Bobby screamed and woke up. Hank and Margaret entered Bobby's room, and Hank said,
Not again, Bobby.
to be continued.
God damn it.
Dad, why did you try to kill me?
I didn't try to kill you. I was too busy selling propane.
This is worse than the mailman.
Bobby,
Did the mailman really do that?
he did. I saw him.
Oh no.
Hank, you weren't supposed to tell him about that. God damn it.
But unfortunately, I let him do it because he bought a shitload of propane. And he says he hates charcoal.
Chapter 3. Bobby knew he had to fight. Rock music got him pumped up, and of course his parents didn't like that he was listening to it. Then again, they were mad that he watched an R-rated movie. Then again, they would be no help to him this time. In southern states like Texas, one is told that their pa will always have the answer, and to mind your pa. But a pa can't protect you from a psycho who can infiltrate your dreams. Bobby grabbed his baseball bat and kept it at his side. He just finished his homework and was about ready to fall asleep. The more his eyes started to close, the tighter he held his bat. It was his only weapon, and he knew he had to fight. He soon felt himself drifting to sleep. Soon he sensed the presence of Freddy. He heard the growling. He saw Freddy's hands with the claws about to embrace him. Freddy said, I'm gonna cut you up slow. Bobby turned around and stomped on Freddy's foot. Freddy grabbed his foot and yelled, "Ah, you little bastard," while throwing around. Then Bobby grabbed his baseball bat and delivered a strike. A strike against Freddy's head, that is. Freddy was flying 100 feet up. Then Bobby woke up, and he'd been shaking in his bedroom. So his parents came in. He said,
Mom, Dad, I took care of Freddy. Sometimes a kid has to deal with his own problems.
Well, alright, Bobby. I'm proud of you. While you were busy doing that, me and Margaret fixed our marital problems, so we aren't getting a divorce. And you won't be a broken child.
Yeah, it was
Well,
all.
the mailman's still jerking off. God damn it.
God damn it, Hank.
A kid has to deal with his own problems, and it's a good thing I still have my baseball bat.
In his dream. Anyway.
The end.
That was so freaking short. It was hilarious. Once again, today's theme is we made this story longer than the original version.
I enjoyed this, even though it's a skeleton. It's anticlimactic as all hell, but
Oh yeah.
it's one of those fics that are definitely better when you read it with a group of people like this.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. When you're allowed to riff on it, it's a friggin' blast. But otherwise, yeah, it's far too short. Like I said, a decent skeleton at best. But oof, it was like, yeah, I still enjoyed reading it, and still I'm actually kind of enjoyed doing some improv stuff. That was kind of fun.
No, that's the beauty of Shadowgate's work so far with the King of the Hill stories. It gives us a lot of opportunity to improv.
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
it makes not only the story but the video better for it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh man, darn it! I was hoping to interject more as Margaret. Shit. God damn it, Hank.
Any more thoughts, Kajux?
I mean, nothing too crazy. It was like, yeah, it's just kind of maybe too bare bones. But yeah, otherwise it was like it's at least a fun and painless read.
Yeah, yeah. Despite this one being about 700 words longer than Halloween in Texas, I still like Halloween in Texas because, well, one, it was the first time we read a fic like this where it just takes King of the Hill out of its element and basically does a whole different thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were just surprised by what it did. That it doesn't stack up. Like Bobby's new pet with the Godzilla one. That one was okay, mainly because, I don't know, it just seemed like there was a lot of stuff to improv, like this one in Halloween.
Yeah.
This one's not as good as the Halloween one, but this one is still a lot of fun to read.
Oh yeah, definitely. So if you have a group of friends, just like read it, riff it, have fun.
And yeah, Freddy's basically has the same amount of time as Michael Myers did.
Yep.
Barely showed up.
Yep.
He can defeat it easily. Joe, any thoughts?
This one was fun. Like you guys said, it's definitely too short, but really fun to read with friends. And this more than makes up for the last one.
Definitely. Ditto.
Did you have any thoughts?
Bobby's too overpowered. He smacked Freddy Krueger with just one swing, and that was it. He dead.
It was a strike. A strike to his head, that is.
Yeah. Other than that, it was short and fun. I liked it.
But hey, we don't know what we're talking about. Hey, I haven't used that in a while. Let's see what actual critics think of it in the reviews.
Oh yes.
Oh boy.
Charmed Mood 84 says, interesting crossover you've got here. Wonder what's gonna happen next.
Riri, aka Damien Girl 666. Holy shit! What a very interesting crossover.
Colezilla says, I remember when I was 9, and I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2 on the Sci-Fi Channel before bed. I knew for a fact that my parents would have never approved for me watching them since the Chuck incident. When I went to bed, I had a nightmare that Freddy was stalking me in my locked house. Later I woke up scared and afraid to go back to sleep, but I eventually did. And wouldn't you know it, I had another dream about Freddy. This time I was in the boiling room. I had a hard time sleeping for a whole month because of that. But as I grew, I learned that Freddy and Chucky weren't so scary. If anything, I thought they were funny and cool. I can understand Bobby's insecurity and something in my guts. My gut tells me that Bobby's nightmare wasn't just a dream. It is my hope that he remains vigilant.
Jesus Christ, that comment was as long as the story.
Yeah.
Longer. Cole Godzilla, yet again, writes, Freddy is one crafty bastard.
Colezilla yet again says, Bobby just may have saved the entire neighborhood from Freddy's wrath. I'll tell you one thing,
Heck
he definitely
yeah.
I'll tell you something, he definitely didn't save it from the mailman.
I don't think anyone's gonna save the neighborhood from the Jack mailman named Jack. Last name Ing. Anyway, Julius Knight says, definitely an interesting and original crossover. Nice work, but feel it should have been expanded more. Something really brutal to earn the M rating you gave it. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
this is rated T at best.
Yeah, definitely a T.
The mailman jacking off earned it the in range.
I guess so.
I love how that came out of nowhere.
I know. Like, that wasn't even something we improvised. That was just something that was there.
Yeah, that is something we would do, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, there you have it, folks. That is the end of this morning read. We'll see you next week for the season finale. Take care.
Oh man, already? Aw. Now we're gonna go on another multi-year hiatus.
Hooray!
I'm gonna cut you up slow.